$21 card, $833 graded. That's a 1,711% profit. Here are seven more just like it. What's up, Vegas Card Decks fam? I just discovered seven Costco exclusive Pokemon promo cards that are absolute grading gold mines. We're talking $9 to $29 raw cards that are selling for 300 to 800 plus in PSA 10. I'm using the PSA app to scan these. It shows me population data, estimated values, and eBay comps instantly, and the numbers are insane. I recently predicted a Gengar price spike that TCG Player featured in their November 12th article. While the market dropped, that Gengar climbed exactly like I called it. When I tell you these are undervalued, I'm backing it with research that's getting industry recognition. Today, I'm ranking 6 Cosmos Holo cards from Kanto Friends and Kanto Power Mini Tin Packs exclusive to Costco by return on investment. We're going from good to insane, showing you exact profit on every single one. By the end, you'll know which cards to buy, how much profit to expect, and the grading mistakes that'll kill your returns. Let's go. Number one, starting with the safest play on the list, Eevee from the Kanto Friends Mini Tin. Raw card is $29. Your average cost is $25 to get graded. Looking $54 total investment. The PSA 10 value, last one sold for $298, giving you a net profit of $244 or a 452% return on investment. That's 4.5 times your money. The PSA population is only 28, but there's only been 71 submissions. It's a 39% success rate. It's the easiest card to grade on the entire list. Eevee has one of the most dedicated collector fan bases in Pokemon. The 8 Evolution lines driving demand, which is our members. We are the Evolution Squad, and they get custom badges and emojis in their comments they can use. The Cosmos Holo pattern on Eevee's brown fur is stunning. And with less than 30 PSA 10s in existence, you've got serious scarcity. These are at $54. It's the lowest risk entry with solid returns. Now, if you can, buy a couple raw copies if you can find them under $29. With that 39% gem rate, you've got better odds than any other card on this list. Grade your best one. Even if you only hit the one, it's profitable when you include the cost of the other ones. If you want to try to grade multiple copies of the card, I wouldn't do it in the same submission. I would kind of separate the submissions just to avoid. There's a common belief that the same grader does each submission, so you may be at risk of some grading bias if it is done by the same grader. It is your safest play. For newer graders, it's a low. I mean, the risk is still there, but out of this whole list, it's the lowest risk. You get solid returns. Eevee, it's liquid. If you want to sell it, there's a strong collector demand. And moving on to 2. Card 2, Mewtwo from the Kanto Power Mini Tin box. This is the cheapest entry point with some serious profit potential. $21 raw. 46 after the average grading cost. PSA is 276. I realize it says 107, but for some reason, the PSA app included a different Mewtwo that sold for $99, so it messed up. You'll see when it scrolls down the actual $276 sale. The net profit is $230. Your return on investment is 500%. That's 5 times your money. You're starting with just $21 for the raw card. The PSA population is 43 out of 186 submissions. It's 23% success rate, which is pretty solid for an older card. Mewtwo is a top-tier legendary. Again, massive collector appeal. Original Pokemon movie. The Smash Brothers, multi-generational demand. The Cosmos Holo, again, is awesome. If you're lucky enough to get one with a swirl, you probably can add a little extra premium to that price. The card just looks phenomenal. $21 raw, same thing. If you can buy a couple copies without breaking the bank, you want to grade your best ones. And even if one hits, you're at couple $100 profit, which covers everything with money left over. I'm seeing them between $21 and $28 raw. At 21, it's no brainer volume play. Even at 25 bucks, you're still looking at almost 5 times profit. As these sealed boxes start to disappear, which they are pretty hard to find right now, the population counts are going to stay low and the value is going to climb. Number 3 is the Magikarp from the Kanto Friends Mini Tin. It's one of the rarer cards on the list. The raw card is $29. 54 total investment when you include the average grading cost. The PSA value is $538, meaning your net profit is $484, giving you an 896 return on invest or 896% return on investment. It's almost 10 times your money. The PSA 10 population is only 38 out of 125 submissions for 38% success rate. Magikarp is a meme legend. It's the weakest Pokemon and it evolves into Gyarados. I love Gyarados. I also love catching Magikarp on Pokemon Go. The same thing, Cosmos Holo, especially if you can get it somewhere by that Pikachu on the card, you're going to get a premium on the card. You could probably even get a premium on the raw card if you could find a good one. With this, you're buying into a card with only 38 Gem Mint copies in the world, and we all know scarcity drives prices. Card 4 is Dragonite from the Kanto Friends Mini Tin box. This is your best bulk grading opportunity on the entire list. The raw card is only $9, putting total investment at $34 per card. PSA 10s, the last one sold for $380. The net profit is $355, meaning you're at 1,044% return on investment, over 10 times profit. The PSA population is tiny, only 19 PSA 10s out of 148 submissions. It's a low 13% success rate. So once again, when people say you're better off buying a lottery ticket, I get what they're saying, but also when I buy a lottery ticket for 10 bucks and I lose, it's worth nothing. When I buy a $9 Dragonite that I really like, I still have a $9 Dragonite card even after, if it's not something that I want to grade. And in the long run, it may improve its value near mint also. Anyways, for this one, if you can buy 6 to 8 copies, that's $54 total raw. And what is that? 6, 18. A little over $200 if you're total for the grading. If you even get one PSA 10, you're still almost close to $200 profit. If you hit 2, you're close to $400 profit. The Dragonite is a Pseudo legendary with massive appeal. I love Dragonite. And once again, I'm going to hit on the Cosmos Holo. If you're lucky enough and you get those swirls in it, you're going to be able to sell it for a premium. I've seen the listings on eBay where people point out where the Cosmos swirls. With less than 20 Gem Mint copies in existence, you're buying extreme scarcity. Card 5, the card I showed you at the beginning, Charizard from Kanto Friends Mini Tin set. This is where you make the most money per card. The raw is 21, 46 all in after the average grading cost. PSA 10 is $833, and you can see the PSA 9 is selling for 58, so you still get a little money if you're able to sell it for that. But anyways, back to the 10, the net profit, $787. Your return on investment is a staggering 1,711%, which is 17 times profit and the highest dollar return on our list. The PSA population is 161 out of 461 submissions, a 35% success rate, which honestly, for such a high return, is a high success rate. Charizard is the most iconic Pokemon card in history. Every price boom in the market has been led by Charizard. Same thing, Cosmos Holo pattern. If you luck out with an awesome swirl somewhere, you're going to have a premium for your card. And then the flames and the wings, it's a stunning card if you ask me. It's a really cool artwork. If you can find these at 21 to 25 bucks, buy every clean one you can find and inspect in person. Grade your 2 to 3 best, but like I said, don't send them in the same submission. Even if only one hits PSA 10, you're making a huge profit. Prices are creeping up, so act fast. With that 35% gem rate, it's a selective but high reward play. The PSA price of $833 is undervalued compared to other modern Charizard cards. We got one more card to go. Number 6 card with the highest return on investment on the entire list is the Pikachu from the Kanto Friends mini tin box. The raw card is only $13. The investment $38. PSA 10, last one sold for $743, meaning your net profit is $705. Your return on investment is 1,855%. That's almost 19% or 19 times your money. It's the highest multiplier on our list. PSA population is only 37 out of 189 submissions. The success rate is pretty low, meaning that's what gives the card so much value. Pikachu is the mascot of Pokemon. That rainbow in the background is stunning. Cosmos Holo. If you're lucky enough, you get a swirl. It has the highest raw card availability that I could find, and they were all actually around the $13 price point. Once again, like I said, do not buy off a TCG player when it comes to things like this. If I just want a near mint card, I'll buy off a TCG player. But if I'm going for grading and I want PSA 10, I'm going eBay, which that is also very hard to find and inspect copies. But if you do, you can zoom in on the corners, the edges, the back. It is a little bit harder to see surface scratches, but in an old video that I did, I talked about the Grevard and the Armorage. Both of those are really hard to grade because of the scratches that came in the Scarlet and Violet base set, and you can actually see them pop through on the eBay. If you're lucky enough, like me, live in Vegas, there's card shows every weekend now, right now, which it has made it, to me, a buyer's market because not everyone's going. At the front row card show last weekend, there were not a lot of people. And the one before it 2 months ago was packed. And I think part of it is the market is getting oversaturated, which means for me, I'm able to make deals. And I did actually make some good deals. But this is the highest risk, highest reward play. Now, let me show you why they're so hard to grade. Okay, the reality check time. The Cosmos Holo cards, they are brutal to grade. You can tell by the percentages. The surface shows everything, especially in those Cosmos Holos. This era of cards, the quality control wasn't very high when it came to promo cards, so you get a lot of off centering when the cards are packaged and they're just not thrown in, but when they're covered by the plastic, it scratches them, but it also gives them space to move around, which could cause them to move out of that little spot during transit, or they could cause the corners to crease or get dings on the edges. So they are tough to grade. I am well aware of that. So that's why it's so important that you're able to inspect the cards. All right, I feel that these are a little bit flying under the radar when you look at the price points. The Cosmos are really hard to grade, so I realized that is a big reason why there's such a gap between the near mint and the PSA 10 values. But I do feel the window's closing fast on a lot of them. There are some that are pretty tough to find. I am going to start paying more attention at the shows that I go to, and luckily there are a decent amount of card shops in Vegas now that have popped up. I've already talked about where to check things. I do use the PSA app now. It's awesome. You can scan it right off of the picture off a TCG player to check out the populations and values and just kind of get an idea of what to do. I feel like starting with the Dragonite or the Pikachu are the lowest entry costs. So if you're on a budget, and I mean that Pikachu, the return is so high, it's worth the risk. Even the Dragonite at $9, you can potential is huge. If you want to maximize your profit per card, focus on that Charizard. Um, to find them, just search Costco exclusive Cosmos Holo, and then you'll be able to find a whole bunch of different ones, even ones that I don't have on this list that you may find that you want to get instead of this list. Remember, all my calculations include the average $25 grading costs. So they are real net returns. I'm not trying to hype it up. It is math. Remember, if you do submit multiple copies, don't do it in the same submission. You may fall to some bias if you are unlucky and the same grader grades all your cards. If you want me to cover more hidden gem grading opportunities like this, I need you to drop a comment below with what sets or promos you want me to analyze next. I'm constantly scanning cards, TCG player, PSA app, trying to find these undervalued plays. I got a pretty good one coming up that I'm working on. And if you're serious about Pokemon card investing, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. I drop these every week. Please watch them. Let me know every week what you think about my videos. I do want to thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Now go hunt on these Costco exclusives before everyone else catches on.